Hi, Jason Knott, editor of CE Pro, and today we are talking about the growing opportunity for integrators in the multi-tenant market with Joshua Gerena, segment development manager at Axis Communications. Hey, Joshua.
How are you, Jason? Thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us today.
Happy Monday.
Yeah. So let's talk in kind of general terms. Why is this multi-tenant market a good opportunity for integrators to consider?
You know, it's funny, but a lot of integrators don't even look at this segment. But when you look at the actual percentage of growth, if I look at just the residential market of any multi-tenant building, 32% of that is residential multi-tenant, right? The other 27% is the commercial side, which is basically multi-tenant offices or mixed buildings, etc. So 60% of that segment is the greatest one overall. When you're looking at schools, government, and everything else, that segment is one of the largest. You look at cities like New York, Brooklyn, that have hundreds of buildings being built right now. So the opportunity for you to grow as a company and installing into these type of buildings is pretty substantial.
Yeah, I think it's even more important now. We starting to see the slowdown in the single family market just due to land prices and how expensive it is for builders to build on the single family environment. We're seeing that multi-dwelling market on the residential side certainly grow. So something I know, 2N obviously is owned by Axis Communications, and 2N, I got to give a shout out. They recently in our CE Pro 100 brand analysis were named a bullet brand due to their growth. They really shot up in terms of the percentage of the largest integrators using it. So congratulations to you guys on that.
Thank you.
When you talk about this term Access Control 3.0, what does that actually mean?
So Access Control 3.0, basically it represents is a significant fundamental shift of technology, right? From the humble beginnings of lock sets, regular keys, and even RFID, right? Chips, which really changed this world. Even when you look at RFID as something that's little by little going away, and this new technology is coming in, which is basically what we call Access Control 3.0. So, you know, we went from using regular keys to using Access RFID cards to a ton of new technology, which we are, I would say, in front of a lot of different companies when it comes to that type of tech.
Yeah, I know where I want to get into some of the offerings that 2N has out there in a minute, but quickly, let's also talk about something else that I know that you guys tout, which is this 7 pillars to keep in mind when you're selecting an access control solution. Tell us about that.
So our 7 pillars, I'll give you a real quick, is IP technology, mobile access, multi-user technology, remote management, cybersecurity, environmental, social, and corporate government, and then privacy and protection of personal data, right? Those are our 7 pillars. And within that, there's explanations for each one of them, right? So if you look at IP technology, it enables what? The development of smart and flexible customizable solutions, as well as being easy to install, versus when you look at the analog world, it was a little bit more complex, right? It needed more hands-on, more manpower to do these things, and IP technology kind of makes it simpler for these type of systems to be installed.
So those great considerations, that's a great checklist for integrators to be using. I love that. All right, so tell us about 2N's offerings out there in the multi-tenant application market.
So from anything from, you know, let's go back in the past a little bit, right? So the common multi-tenant systems used to be a basic audio only intercom, maybe a master station in an apartment, just audio. Then video came back in the 80s. Companies started adding video to that, black and white at the time. But during the years 2014 specifically, you started seeing the changes, right? More color coming in, more IP systems coming to play a bigger part within this, and mobile applications. I remember back then, mobile applications, people were like, we don't want it, we don't want it. And then 2016 comes and now people want more and more. So what we're seeing within those areas is all this type of technology, but even going above what 2N does. Let's look at Axis as a portfolio. What we do very uniquely is when it comes to the residential market specifically, during COVID is where we saw these type of trends coming, more a necessity and a want, where you have, let's say, a mom and some kids in an apartment, and she wants to be able to monitor specific areas from her apartment. Let's say the shared laundry, right? They want to be able to view cameras that are from the laundry to see how many people are in that location because of COVID, or a play area that they want to manage and see what their kids are doing. So it went from that simplicity of intercom and who's at that door, should we let them come in or not, to more technology being involved. Now I'm able to view cameras, but even further is even touchless processes for doors, right? We seen our system being used where people are implementing even facial recognition to unlock a door and automatically open that door, right? Third-party facial recognition software, to using WaveKey, our access control mobile credential, to create kind of like where we could actually over the camera pass our hand and allow that door to be triggered and being open. So we're seeing so many different trends and things being used with the full technology of what Axis and 2N could do, being brought into these type of residential and commercial applications.
The one beauty about this market that's so interesting to me is that it's not only beneficial to the tenant, but also to the property manager and the developer in general, because it obviously, as you said, allows them to keep tabs on what's going on. It actually enhances the property to the point that it's going to be more attractive to a tenant to come in there because of the safety and security element and the connectivity. And then once the tenant gets in there, it's now they have the utilization of all these functions. So it's kind of a dual sale for the integrator that improves both ends, both the developer and the tenant themselves.
Yeah, correct. So you have people now want to manage things remotely. They no longer want to spend money on sending a tech just to just update the directory in that door. So with softwares like My2N, Access Commander software allows you to manage these, not only the operation side of things, but also the health of these devices, right? But let's go even further now. Tenants want to be able to even manage doors for visitors, where they don't want to depend to have to go to the guard or to the security office or their building management company, but they want to be able to create credentials that are maybe temporarily for that day or that hour for them to come into their building. And that's what we're seeing. People want this nowadays. It's no longer a thing that it's just a want, but it's a necessity. It's become a necessity nowadays. And we see it every day, where we're developing more and more and more tech, in back of our systems to be able to provide this type of technology for our partners and clients, right? At the end of the day, we're very, I think Access as a whole is really good at listening the needs of our clients and our dealers, SIs, to be able to produce these type of technologies. And we see it being a kind of a blessing, right, in disguise for not only us, but for them too.
All right, last question. If an integrator wants more information, wants to get in touch with 2N, find out more, become one of your installers, where does he or she go?
Yeah, definitely start with 2N.com. And then within there, just search who your regional sales manager or who the 2N person is in there. And keep in mind, Access is 2N is an Access company, so every single RSM, regional sales manager of the area, could help out with them. So if they're already an Access dealer or are dealing with our products, they could reach out to any of these guys, and they'll walk them through to whoever they need to be dealing with directly for these things.
All right, Joshua Gerena, thank you for joining CE Pro today. Great information for how integrators can take advantage of this multi-tenant market.
Jason, thank you so much for having me.